it's Yamina. I hope everyone is doing well. In today's video, I'm going to be showing my second art book of pictures that I drew from my young time, from childhood into my teens, maybe early 20s. So I'm going to go into them. So Ariel is my favorite Disney princess, so that is Ariel again. That's how big she is. And yeah. And I'm just making sure I don't throw my last name. But yeah, so that's Ariel. And then this is a doctor that I drew. So for less than 2 months, probably less than a month, I was in the art club in my second high school with a few of my acquaintances and buddies from my high school. And we didn't have a leader. We didn't have any direction. We didn't have a program to follow. We were just basically forming this club, and we were allowed a room, a space. We were allowed supplies. We were going to put on a show of some kind, and I ended up just feeling like really not well guided in that class, so I ended up dropping that club. It wasn't a class, it was a club after school. I ended up dropping it and joining the crew team and the swim team at the same time. And so this was the first thing I drew. I didn't know what we were going to make out of the stuff we were trying to like put together. But this is just a doctor. She's like white Hispanic. And that was the first thing I drew. And then I made a copy of some kind. But yeah, we didn't do anything with it. The club didn't last long. I'm not really sure if the club stayed together after I left or not. But I didn't find out. And I wasn't like close with anyone that was in the club. So this is a picture. This is the first time that I drew King Triton with Ariel, and I drew it from a card, basically the size of a baseball card, or if you ever seen a card that, I'm trying to wait for this thing to focus again. Come on. If you ever seen a card for comic books, there's some comic books that have cards the exact same size as as baseball cards. So this was basically a Disney card. Thank you. There you go. Stay focused. So there was a Disney card that was this size. It was basically the size of a baseball card, and I drew it really big. I don't know how I did it, but when I decided I wanted to do an art piece of some kind, I would get it done somehow. But yeah, it was very small in comparison, and I was able to draw it this big. So I was really proud of myself, and I don't draw anymore, so it's just weird that I don't do it. But yeah, most of my stuff, like I copied some Disney stuff, and then other stuff was just like from my head, and it was just fun. It wasn't like very talented necessarily, because I actually follow like a few artists on Instagram, and I love their art. Like they're all kinds of visual artists, and they work with different mediums. They work with paint. Some of them work with glass. Some of them work with ink. Some of them work with clay. Yeah, there's just a whole bunch of different artists that I follow, and they're just talented in a way that, for me, art wasn't about talent. It was just for fun. So I just drew what I felt like drawing. So yeah, so that's that. Then this picture here is from a dream that I have. So every, like, twice a year, sometimes every few years, I'll have a dream once of a baby of some kind. So that's a baby bundled up, and that's me in a dream. So this is one of the dreams that I was dreaming about this situation, and it was just weird to me that I have those dreams, because even though I love babies, I had decided at age 17 never to have any. So these babies just occur. And for people that believe in like significance in dreams, like some psychology stuff, they talk about it's something that you're working through, but I don't know. I do love babies though, so I don't mind having a baby in my dream. And thankfully, I will say this about the dreams. Back in the day when I used to have the dreams about the babies would not be in good health, and they would not survive. But all the babies in my latest dreams are big and healthy, and they're thriving. But my previous babies in those dreams were not doing well. So that's what I have noticed, so I appreciate that. So this is a sketch for an alien that I was drawing. I think it's for I think it's for a book that I was reading because I like to read. I like to read back in the day, like a lot of sci-fi books. I'm trying to make sure that the images stay focused. This is from another dream that I had. That's just a random sketch from a dream, so I'm not going to explain it because I don't really remember. But I could tell by how it looks, it's just a sketch from a dream. And then this is a sketch from a sci-fi book that I was reading. The book didn't have any pictures in it, but this is what I pictured, I guess, when I was like reading the book, because they were aquatic creatures, aliens. So that's an alien world, but I don't remember the name of the book, but I used to read a lot of sci-fi books back in the day. Another alien. And like I said, for anyone, if you didn't see my previous video, I don't believe in aliens, but I grew up watching a lot of sci-fi, Star Trek, Deep Space Nine, and any of the other variations. No Star Wars. I only watched Star Wars once. And I believe in God and Jesus Christ being in heaven and all the angels being in heaven. So those to me are the only other beings that exist. But aliens were just fun for me to draw because I could just make them up and it would be something that I could create in my head. So I don't believe in aliens. It's just that I still have these pictures and they're fun to look at, and I would watch Star Trek to this day. What's funny to me is that this is another alien, and like alien that's turned into a tree or something. Anyway, but what was I gonna say? Oh, so very early on, I stopped watching Star Trek. I think it's I forget which one is which. I think I used to love Star Trek Next Generation, but the original Star Trek from the 50s, 60s kind of time frame, I realized that they fought a lot, and I was like, why are you guys always fighting somebody? So I got kind of bored with that, and I would watch, I believe it was the Next Generation, because they talked a lot more, they didn't fight as often, and it wasn't like a big deal. But yeah, I like that about the Next Generation. Okay, this here, so this is a picture that I was drawing from when I was in one of my classes. So when I like to, anyway, when I watch movies and stuff, I like that, like a few of the movies that I watch are high school scenes, high school settings. And I love when there's a kid in the class that like doodles while they're listening to their teacher or something. So I wanted to be that kid in class one day. And so this is actually something that I drew when I was in high school, but I did not do this often at all. I was usually just paying attention in class and like writing notes, but I forget why I wasn't paying attention. Anyway, so this is a little plot of land that was in the middle of my high school. So my high school was right on Jamaica Bay, and looking out some of the windows, you could see the bay, and looking out certain other windows, you would see a little courtyard. We had a courtyard. We also had a track and field. I don't remember. I don't think there were too many classrooms that you could see the track and field from the classrooms, but you could see the water from some classrooms, and you could see this little courtyard that we had, and this is part of the courtyard. Nobody ever, I've never seen anyone in that courtyard before in my life, so I don't know why it was there. It was very neatly kept up. It was a very little cute little place. That would have been nice if they would let us go into that, but we never went into that area. But yeah, we had a bay on one side, we had a little courtyard, and then we had track and field that we were able to go onto, and we also had a very nice like front courtyard area, which was the main entrance of the high school. Our high school was pretty cool looking. Like, it had very nice architecture, but this is just some buildings that I could see from my high school, and some apartments that I could see from my high school. So yeah, we could see some apartments too, but they were across the street from us. But yeah, I love the way my high school was set up. I've only went to one other high school, and I've seen high schools the way they look in New York City only on videos and pictures and stuff when there's like news reports about high schools in New York City now. But I've never visited any other high school minus the one that I went to, the first one I went to, which was like a charter school. And then I went to my second high school, which was an established school, and it was in existence for years. And it had, like I said, it had very nice architecture, and I loved that place. I loved my old high school. Okay, this is another alien, and this bird here is from a dream that I had in a dream. I think I showed that bird in my other art book, but that's just a fake bird, and I decided to put it with her for some reason. I have no idea why. But yeah, that bird came from a dream. Another alien who has butterfly wings, and I started putting Spanish words for things that I would write down. This is a sketch from a book that I read from Toni Morrison, Paradise, and I was just sketching an image. It was, yeah, Paradise. I read a lot of Toni Morrison books, and this one, I was just sketching what I was reading, what I pictured, imagined from what was going on. What I love about reading is that I can imagine in my head what's going on, even if that's not how it ends up being portrayed in a movie. I don't think this was ever made into a movie, but anyway, that's what I was picturing. They were just, I don't remember what the scene was about in the book, but that's what I pictured. Okay, this is just random. This is from a dream that I had, so too many alien movies, obviously, right? Okay. And then, okay. So not only do I love Barbie dolls, I also used to love Transformers. I actually do like Transformers still because I like robots. I like a lot of things, but I like robots, and I used to watch the animated Transformers cartoon, and this Transformer was an alien Transformer called Transmutate, and I thought he was the cutest thing, so I ended up drawing him to the best of my ability from what I could remember of him. I don't know if this is exactly how he looked. I should probably look it up online and see if he is able to be found, but I thought he was the cutest little alien. He had such a sweet, I guess I wouldn't call it a disposition, but he was a robot alien. So I don't know if you call it that. But yeah, I used to love Transformers. I even had a Transformer when I was a kid. I feel like I stole it from like one of my younger siblings, but maybe it was mine. I don't remember. But yeah, I had Barbies, and then I had a Transformer. So yeah. Yep. Yeah. Okay. So that's right. Okay. And then this here is, I was telling one of my Instagram friends that I had crocheted a dolphin before. She just started crocheting turtles from a pattern she found on Instagram. But yeah, it's becoming a thing on Instagram. There's a lady who does patterns. She sells patterns that people can crochet. So I'm thinking about it. But anyway, I did this. It doesn't show what year I did this. I hope you didn't see a bunch of stuff. Anyway, so I did this sometime in my late teens, and I ended up sketching out how I wanted to make the tail and the body of the dolphin look, and then I crocheted each part separately, and then I like stitched them together with the yarn as well. So I did that, and I stuck a little wire hanger through there to make the fin stand up. I had it previously stuffed with some old rags, but I got rid of the stuffing. But yeah, so I did that. I had it on my wall for a little while, but I decided to take it down, and I put it in here recently. But I never made any other crocheted animals, and I want to, kinda. It's just that I have to get professional stuffing, and I have not bought any stuffing yet. I just have like a lot of yarn still. Not a whole lot, but a little bit of yarn. Okay, so this is a lady that I drew randomly. I do this thing sometimes. I don't know why, but there's a movie that actually has like people with stones, semi-precious stones or something in their necks, and it's like a sci-fi movie. I don't remember what it's called. But I think I saw that movie after I ever started doing this. I feel like I did this before I even knew the movie existed, even though the movie existed long before I did this. Long before. The movie existed before I knew it existed, but I started doing this before I knew the movie existed, is what I'm trying to say. Got it. Okay, I hope that made sense. Okay. Oh, more ladies. More ladies. More ladies. Okay. And then that's another, I think that's another baby dream. I'm not sure. I think this is another baby dream too. And then this is something that I was doing in college. So I don't remember what year I did this, but I did this. These are the originals that I'm going to show you. And then I hung them up. I made copies and then I hung them up at different places around my college. Because I feel like around this time, both of my best friend was gone from the college. My second good friend had left, and my third friend, we stopped being friends because we weren't compatible. And then my fourth friend, who wasn't part of that friend group, she was still on the campus, but we weren't talking all the time. And like, she would complain that I didn't call her, but I was like, we could call each other. Like, it goes two ways. So I would always remind her about that. Like, talking, communicating is something that it takes time for us to learn. And I feel like when I was younger, I always knew that I could reach out to people and I would appreciate it when people reached out to me, but it doesn't always go that way. I don't know. Sometimes I'm way better about reaching out, and the people that I know don't do that even to this day. And then there are other people who always reach out and they reciprocate that kind of energy, but yeah, it's not always common. Yeah. So anyway, I did all of these because I was thinking about that when most of my friends were gone from the college. Like, I had a whole lot of acquaintances in college, a whole lot of acquaintances. But I didn't expect them to call me, and I would call them, and it wasn't like a big deal. But like the people I consider my friends, like it just very one-sided, and I don't know why that is. It's just what it is. Okay, so yeah, I did a whole bunch of these. My goodness, since you. And this is something one of my friends would say. No sugar for you is like, yeah, no hugs, no kisses, no Twix. Being goofy. Yeah, but yeah, I did all of these in college and made copies of them and hung them up around the campus. Might have even hung it up on my friend's door, maybe. I don't really know. Okay, more Ariel. I love this one. Some of my favorite colors. Purple, for a brief period of time, was one of my favorite colors, but I got over it and went back to hot pink. So, yeah, but I like purple because Ariel likes purple, but it's like my fourth, fifth favorite. It's down the line. Like, purple's a good color, though. Okay, so this is a picture from a dream that I had, and I don't know if you can't see it too well. I'm gonna put on the flash really quick if I could get it on. Okay, so wait, let me see. This is a bedroom here, and that's the light. And then these are windows, but they are carved. They are glass windows. These are glass, and then around it, it's like stone, and the windows are carved into the stone, and then the glass is put there so you can like see through the glass, but you can't see through the stone parts, which are all in between the glass. But yeah, that was from a dream. It was super weird. I was like seeing people doing like just on the other side living their lives through the glass, and they couldn't really see me, so it was just a weird dream. I don't remember what that was about. This is from just a random picture that I did. Yeah, very random. Another random picture. And I was going to say that I did this for a play, but I think that's another story. And I think, okay, so that's the end of this. So that's the end of my artwork from this book. The rest of the pieces are from relatives and people who drew stuff for me, so I won't be showing those. But yeah, so that's the end of this. Let me know if you have any questions. That's my art for the day in this second art book. And I am in my pajamas, so if you see anything, it's just stuff in my room, and that's my PJs. So anyway, have a very good night. Have a good Friday, good weekend. Please stay very safe, and I will talk to you all later. Have a good night. Bye.